All right, so I am recording in Cleanfeed and I'm recording in Reaper.
And I am recording in audio hijacked.
Yeah, shout out to Rogo people.
Yep. Makes it possible to quickly get. I had to set up a stream real quick yesterday, and I'm like, hold on, let me find the credentials. The longest part was actually finding the credentials for that stream, and then it was really simple to just drop them in, and I slipped into Zoom, and then I started the stream process.
So I just banged the bridge of my nose on my microphone coming into the office, and it kind of hurts.
It's a little painful.
I might be bleeding just a little bit. Yeah.
I can talk about this because I don't think he's a tip jar subscriber, but Ben is getting a Sennheiser profile mic and a boom arm and a windscreen for his birthday.
Nice.
Two.
Wow, Sennheiser.
A few reasons. I wanted to check out that microphone.
No, that mic sucks.
Does it?
So he's not a tip jar subscriber anymore. So I'll say this, but I probably would have said it anyway, even if he was still a tip jar subscriber. That's the mic that Doyes uses.
Yeah. If you stay on it, it sounds pretty good from what I heard on YouTube. If you're sitting way back on it, then it does pick up a lot of room noise.
Okay. That could definitely be a difference.
And I think that's what the issue was. And that's one of the reasons why we bought him a boom arm with it too. So he can just put it right in front of his face. I wanted to get him a headset, but he said no headset.
Oh, okay. Well, got to applaud the kid for, making good decisions.
For making a decision. I'll tell you what, man. What do you want for your 18th birthday? I don't know. What do you want to do for your 18th birthday? I don't know.
Get a car. Give me a car. Yeah. I want a car.
E-bike. So he doesn't have to have a license. E-bike.
That would be a deal too.
That's what he's getting.
Ah.
Those things are fast. They go up to 30 miles an hour, man. Well, I'm sure you can mod them to go faster.
See? That's why we're friends. Because the first time I heard about e-bikes, I was like, I wonder what you could do to make it go faster. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll see how
that's interesting. Yeah, I will have to check out one of Ben's
videos.
Where does Ben post at, right? Like, is he YouTube or is it Twitch? Or
he's on Twitch mainly.
Oh crap! I don't know about that, Ben. A little too much of a lift to get over there.
But for him, Twitch it happens once and then it's done. Although people can, as we talked about in the beginning, record it. Like he doesn't have to worry about other people just going back to his channel to watch it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was called the streaming bundle on Amazon. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm really interested now to see how that goes because I'm always a little leery of things. You're like, here's this bundle. And it's like, I don't want your bundle. Your bundle's stupid.
They don't make the ATR 2100X anymore.
They don't?
I can't find it. I did not look very hard either.
Oh, okay. Because guess what? I wanted a box right now that has never been opened. If anybody is looking.
Yeah, no, because that was where my mind originally went, because that was my first upgraded microphone.
Oh, it's a good mic.
It is.
It's a very good mic. Actually, I think your first mic may have been the Samsung Q2.
It was an ATR 2100, and then it was a Q2U, and then it was a 2100X.
Okay, there we go.
Yep. Yeah, I had a Q2U in there. That was the one that I used to take back and forth to Bicoastal with me. And then the bottom of it broke. The USB portion, I should say. I still got it, actually.
So
it sounds like crap when you plug it into XLR.
Honestly, I never thought that. No, I haven't tried the 2100X, but the 2100, I never thought sounded great over XLR. Not as I think it sounded better as a USB mic versus the XLR mic.
Yeah, that's possible.
I have the AT2005, which I have used. It's under my bed right now, actually. But I do have a 2100X in a box, brand new, never been opened. Didn't even cut the little plastic on it.
It's a good backup mic to have.
Anybody's look. That's actually why I bought it. Like, in case this 2005 dies, like that's the best travel mic to have because it's flexible. So if I only want to take a cable, I just take a cable. There was also that issue that 1 year in Houston when I was supposed to be on Double Tap. I was on Double Tap, but I got there and I realized like I forgot like some key cables to hook up my interface to hook up the mic that I wanted to use. I had to do some weird stuff.
So just stick with USB. Oh. Says the person who has a Frankenstein setup here. Just stick with USB.
Well, it's different if it's a desk setup versus travel. So what would be your ideal travel setup? Because I am going to need to appear either record technically working or I got to appear on Double Tap or something like that. Like what would be your most minimal setup?
Probably, minimal setup would be the DJI Wireless 2 Go. Because that's just one kit that you got to throw into your bag, have yourself some earbuds or something to monitor / hear other people. And that's probably the easiest to get set up because you just slip that USB-C foot on the bottom of the receiver and then snap it in, and macOS says, do you want to allow this accessory access to your microphone? You click allow, and then you're up and running. And it's a decent sounding mic. It's not the Shure Beta 87A. And if I needed that type of quality, I would use the Beta 87A that's problematic actually, because I don't want to hold the 87A because it will pick up noise. So I don't know. I would go with that DJI wireless mic.
So I'm going to point out in this instance right here that I did send Michael a portable desktop stand that he could easily set up and use the Beta 87 on.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't know where it is because it came in a box of stuff.
No, it's right over here on this desk. I just forget about it because I have the boom arm. I should throw it in my backpack, and then next time I go somewhere, I'll be like, what's this? Oh, this is for the microphone I didn't bring.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. So I think because you answered the way you did, we have to do a show with you just using the
DJI
the Go mics.
2 Go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have to do that.
Okay. We'll do that.
My minimal setup, if I'm just grabbing the absolute minimum, would be the AT2005 with its little weird shock mount thingy and the same tripod that I sent Mike. And of course a USB, what is that, mini USB to USB-C cable to plug the mic in. Yeah. And a laptop.
There you go.
Or maybe an iPad, depending if we're doing Zoom or something, but probably a laptop.
You could use your phone.
I could, if we were doing something like Zoom or something. Or if you were hosting, if the person on the other end were hosting a platform where I can join, via Safari or an app, like Riverside would work, I think.
Mm-hmm. They have a Riverside app.
Remember? Yeah, I know. You remember Ringer? Was it Ringer X? No. Yeah, that's what it was.
I remember Ringer. Source Elements.
Source Elements was actually decent. Except for the unlabeled buttons.
But unfortunately, we're getting unlabeled buttons everywhere we go. Everything is. Yeah. Unless you make the program yourself. And then AI still puts unlabeled buttons. And you're like, wait, I told you to make this fully accessible to keyboard navigating blind users. And it said, you're right. You can't tab out of that field.
Yeah. So with your coding experiences, with
GitHub Copilot.
AI. Yeah, GitHub Copilot. Have you found yourself giving it too much information?
Yes.
And then it screws up? Okay.
Yes.
Because I just recently ran into this where like, I think I may have given it too much and I could tell that it was starting to screw up. And I was like, hold on, stop. Like it's in the process of doing things. And I was like, no, stop trying to access that file because you can never edit anything in that file. It was like, it didn't do anything. So I just had to create a new chat.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's break this down and okay, edit this file first and add this. And then let's do this. And then, okay, I want you to put this particular text in that file. And then, okay, let's run a test on that and make sure everything is well written. Seriously set me back. However, I do have the podcast episodes loading on the local test site, as they should. The importer is working.
Good.
I'm not happy about the URL structure. It broke that. So I gotta fix that. Cause I feel like I desire for, I don't say it's a requirement. It is a desire of mine that you should be able to go to. And no, you can't go here now. Don't do it. To technicallyworking.show/24 and get to episode 24. That should work. It doesn't work. No, it definitely doesn't work right now if you try to type it in because we're but in my case, you should be able to go to technicallyworking.test/24 and go to episode 24. And that does not work. Page not found. It loads up the page not found really fast. Like it is scary how fast it loads a page. But it's not doing what I wanted to do. So I got to figure that part out. I am admittedly, so I think I talked about this, but I just want to, be clear about it. We're working on a podcast site for Technically Working because Michael has been rather successful, I would say, in his journeys on vibe coding some things and working out stuff, to build this builder tool for, his ACB work. It's like, okay, let's partially because I need to, I probably should actually play around with this stuff. And then too, it makes great content for the show, whether it works or doesn't work. So let's vibe code the WordPress. The WordPress podcast site.
Yeah.
We're mostly there, like legitimately with a few minor changes, which I could just quickly do myself. I could probably push this site live. But I haven't thoroughly tested everything, so I don't know if you can actually get to episode 126, for example. You should be able to, but there's also not a menu, and then the homepage is not displaying what I want to display. But I really want to fix that URL structure, and there's a couple of little minor things that I need to fix before I push this live. But I got there fairly quickly over the matter of a couple of days of working on this, and there's been a couple of complete trash this whole project, start over from here, and then let's do this. I don't think I'm going to do that at the point that I'm at now. I'm just going to step back and like, okay, here's one task that needs to be accomplished, or here's one part of this project that needs to be completed. Evaluate the project in its current state and let me know what needs fixing. Cause I think I did just give it too much instruction, at one time.
Have you seen Jeff's emails? I think I've stopped forwarding some of them to you because I'm missing a few that I need to go find.
I haven't because I have not actually really been checking email the past couple of days.
Okay.
For one thing. Two, if you have not forwarded those to me, then definitely know I have not seen them because I'm not joined the Google group.
He's using
reach out to Jeff. Will you BCC me on these messages when you send them?
Or I ain't got time Jeff, put together a weekly ebook of your tips.
Not a weekly ebook, just about a weekly email. Like, do we have to make it a book? Then do we got to do this whole thing? No,
a weekly summary.
Yeah, just put together a weekly email summary. Yeah, I did see you was using SpecKit. I did look at the emails that you actually forwarded to me, like the first couple ones you forwarded to me. I haven't delved into SpecKit and what all that is.
I think it would help with breaking things down. The other thing is, if you haven't yet, update GitHub and Copilot and VS Code, and use the auto mode, because that gives you it prompts it to make a checklist every time. If yours isn't making a checklist, it's good for it to have a to-do list for it to work through. But B, it also gives you 10% more premium requests when it has to tap into premium requests to complete a job. So instead of picking a specific GPT-4.1 or Grok or Claude Sonnet, you can just pick auto and it will pick the best. What it determines is the best model for the task that you need to complete.
So that's an interesting tip because, I have been specifically choosing models.
Yep, me too.
So
shout out to Jeff.
It does make a checklist. It's like, oh, here's the task list of what I need to do. 1 of 3 tasks completed, 1 of 2 of 2. Yeah, so it's doing that by itself.
Yeah. Try auto out with that because it would be interesting, especially with your longer form jobs that it needs to do.
Yeah, because we've got to render these whole views out and all this kind of stuff. But I am happy that the importer works because, I could see episode 24 and then I just randomly told it to open a link. We got to episode 24 of, huh?
Oh, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was going to say, I got to episode 24 of Technically Working. I was like, I started listening. I hit the play button in the player, which was successful. I was like, okay, all that looks good. And then the episode started, and I was like, Mike kind of did some terrible compression on me in that episode. And wait, is this Technically Working or is this the DM series? Because we're talking about SaneBox.
Oh. Huh. That was wow. I wonder which one that one was. Did you listen to more?
Yeah, I think it was actually a Technically Working episode. It's just we were talking about SaneBox at that time for some reason, which is very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember my SaneBox days in both shows, actually.
But it was like an hour and something long, so it's got to be it's got to be a Technically Working episode.
Yeah, because our DM series, when we were talking about SaneBox, was when we were doing like a 15, 20-minute episodes that were pre-planned. Maybe that's what we should test it on. And I could give you an API key, but we should have it when it imports podcasts, send the podcasts to episodes to a transcription service, probably OpenAI, get the transcript of it, and then have a chat bot that people can come say, when did they talk about gravity forms? And it brings up all the episodes we talked about gravity forms.
Yeah, every episode they talked about gravity forms. So that's actually a thing I thought about adding in at some point of this process. I want to get the MVP done first.
Yeah.
But was being like, okay, grab the episode. Now send that audio off to, OpenAI or Whisper or whatever and give me a transcription. And so, because there is a transcription. So in the layout for a individual episode, of course, you have your title, you have your image, you have your title. We have the player, which I need to actually look at because I didn't look at it, but it should have like all the little controls in there so you can like play it at a different speed, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't check that out yet. And there's also metadata to be rendered in the post for show notes, transcripts, and there's something else. I forget what it is.
You could sell this tool almost, it sounds like.
Pizzas, phones, and episode 24, pizzas, phones, and podcast progress.
I bet AI wrote that title.
There's a referral link for Mike's SaneBox account. Okay, so I do not see the button that will let me change speed, or I don't see a more button in that player. Okay, so I got to fix that.
And maybe when you do figure it out, have a download button in the more menu.
Yeah, that's gonna.
Yeah. Sweet.
I do have a block section that gives us subscribe, and that'll show up on every individual episode page. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, YouTube Music. That's weird. Podcast Static. Wait a minute now. And then just a regular RSS feed. Where's the Pocket Cast link, dude? What are you doing? And then Castro. Okay, I got to fix that. But it's coming along.
Good. It'll be interesting to see it when it comes live, because I haven't even previewed this. So,
nope, Mike has not seen this at all because it's all still locally running. Because I got to at least get the minimum viable product put together before I push it to a staging server for Mike to poke at it and tell me what the hell is wrong. And then we'll go live as soon as we fix whatever Mike says is wrong.
And then we'll go live to our tip jar subscribers, and they'll tell us what's wrong.
Yeah, well, that's not a part of the MVP. That's next step.
No, my thought was to let the tip jar subscribers check out the site first.
Ah, gotcha.
Before we bring it out on the live show.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, that's a thing we could do for sure. Thought you were talking about the private feed for the tip jar subscribers. Like, that's coming. That is a part of the spec for the site, but that is not the minimum viable product. Because first we got to go create a Stripe account.
Get familiar and do some other stuff. Connect.
There'll be some feedback form. There will be a feedback form. There will be long-term plan though, like, once the site is live and like it's just a basic podcast site so people can go subscribe to our show, is there's going to be a couple of pages. One is going to be a services. I haven't really thought how to title this, but mostly like, here are the things that we're using, like things that we're using or things that we recommend you, use services wise. So, Copilot will probably be on that list. I would imagine.
Oh, probably.
But like in business or what are the tools we're using and things that we've talked about several times. So I'm pretty sure Gravity Forms will make an appearance on that list.
Did you see the new Gravity Wiz API Alchemy?
You say what now? No, I haven't seen that.
API Alchemy, it's in Spellbook, and it lets you connect Gravity Forms using, it looked like lots of different APIs out there just within the tool itself. And they're calling it Gravity Wiz API Alchemy.
Yeah, they're always calling it something. But no, I hadn't even been looking at that because my WordPress work and I am building. I'm trying to get this site done. I'm kind of also in the background. I've been working on a different project, but I want to get this WordPress podcast site out first for the show because we need that. We need a feedback form that makes it easy for people to send us feedback, or easier, or a different method of sending us feedback. Because you can always email feedback@technicallyworking.show, and we will get that.
What do you think about the concept of what do you think about the concept of a podcast giving you a chance to get a text message when they post a new episode? I think it would just go into the noise of my text messages, but I think it's an interesting concept because I don't hear it being done too often.
Personally, I don't want this.
Yeah.
At all. I could see, just like I didn't want YouTube to become the biggest podcast player or one of the biggest podcast players or places to listen to podcasts, right? I didn't ask for this. I don't want this. It doesn't really make sense to me, honestly. This is one of those situations where I think objectively looking at it, I could see people wanting this. I can see a certain group of people, and I don't mean anything negative about that group of people. Just like maybe the younger folks want this, or maybe people who, I don't know, people do a lot of stuff over text message that I wouldn't do. But I can see this being useful for some people. I don't think specifically for our audience, and hey, reach out and let us know if I'm wrong. I don't think our audience would necessarily want that.
Yeah.
But there are certain types of shows or shows targeting specific audiences that could be a thing. And I've thought about that before. It's interesting because I have never seen anyone offer that as a feature.
But maybe it's just listeners don't want it.
That could be the thing too. Could be the listeners don't want it, or like
I subscribe to a YouTuber and he uses, I'll find the name of it here in a minute, a tool that I think does just that. It is called, and it sends me a text message whenever his YouTube, and I'm subscribed to him on YouTube, so I don't need this, but it sends me a text message whenever his YouTube updates. And if he has a promo, he can push a text message to his people on his list of text messages and push that promo. And I think that could be easily abused. He uses a tool called community.com. And I've never went and looked at it, but that's what they're using is community.com.
So if I were to use a means of text messaging people for any reason, number one, I'm probably going to be able to use either VoIP MS or Twilio.
Yep.
Like I'm not going through another site to deal with that.
Nope, because they'll take a cut off of everything.
Two, it would also be probably more set up as an option. Like if you signed up for a newsletter, you can get email or you can get text or you can get both.
Yeah.
If you really want both, not sure why you would want both. I personally would greatly appreciate it. I personally would greatly appreciate it if you did not choose both, because now I'm paying twice to send you the same message. So please
you're just going to get annoyed with and probably put me in your spam or block me in text messages.
Exactly. Right. Because it's going to cost me to send that email. It's going to cost me to send that text. So pick one. Right. But if I was going to do it, it would be more like that. And then, okay, we're doing a special live event, or we're doing technically working, live from the Moscone Center in San Francisco. Yeah, we would probably spam the crap out of people about that because we got to cover the cost of the Moscone Center. So we really need you to show up and buy tickets. But yeah, I would build that into it and mostly probably just launch it off of Gravity Forms or something like that. If I were going to build such a thing. I've legitimately thought about it. I just don't think I want it. And I'm not sure people really want that. Like, we get enough crap in our text messages.
Well, let us know if you do.
Yeah, feedback at technicallyworking.show. What do you think about receiving a text message when there's a new episode? Like, what if we had a text message / email system that did the same thing that the TW at technically.socialbot does, which is every time we publish an episode, there's a post that automatically happens. Would you like that? Would you appreciate that? Would that help you?
Would you opt into it?
Yeah, would you opt into it? Because I'm not going to build it if you're not opting in. I will also tell you that most podcast players will let you set a notification when a new episode for your show is published. But, let us know what you think.
Yeah. I have an episode for Tip Jar subscribers that I forgot about until I was thinking about the show today. Like Damashe and I recorded this on Sunday, and then I just went on with my week. So I will get that edited up for people in the very near future. I'm not committing to a date or time, but yeah. How's Steven coming along?
Man, I didn't even start it.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you how this is most likely going to go. There's also an episode I need to edit that we recorded that needs to go out to Tip Jar subscribers. So you're not the only one who forgot that. So in actuality, I'm not going to let it get to this point. But I'm going to tell you most likely how this will probably go. I talked to Mike on Saturday after we record. Oh, yeah, we're leaving for the cruise on Monday. Oh, okay, let me start editing Steven's episode.
See, Here's the problem is you won't talk to me on Saturday because I'll be at our state banquet.
Oh, man. So I'll hear from Mike on Thursday.
Yep. Hey.
So we got to get a piece of this content published on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, let me start.
Yep.
Now, in reality, it's not going to get there because I have been thinking about it. I just hadn't sat down to work on it. And I also, in the course of I need to start working on this episode, I did record some content that I did send to Double Tap, actually. Mm-hmm. I may or may not find out if they play it in. I don't know. But I was like, oh, man, me and Mike recorded this content that we were going to use to show people editing a piece of content when we did our Reaper thing. And that's not how that actually went. So I should probably edit that and get that over there too. So haven't forgot. And I was looking at dates and I was like, I got enough time. And I also got enough other stuff on my plate that, I can get to it before it's going to be mission critical to get it done. It'll be done. Yeah. But I ain't start on it this week.
Copy that. Well, so I learned something this last week. I learned, and I don't know if I told you this, maybe I did, that if someone says, hey, Michael, do you want to come speak at our organization and tell us about the national organization, and you can be the national rep, that also translates to, hey, Michael, we want you to be our banquet speaker. And I didn't realize that until, I don't know, a week ago. And I'm like, oh no, now I got to come up with a banquet speech. So that'll be interesting. It'll be recorded. Maybe we'll share it with Tip Jar subscribers. Well, everyone will know where it is, but.
So, interesting. So now you're the keynote speaker.
Yeah.
State convention.
Not Oregon's, Washington's. So Washington's sending me up there Halloween weekend. So what I'm getting at with you, Damashe, is we might have a few more dates that we need to have pre-recorded content for. If we're going to keep our Saturday or Monday posting schedule, which I have all intentions of planning.
We could just stream Mike's speech.
Reach out to WCB. We will edit it so we can publish it in our podcast feed. No,
But there are a couple of people we need to bring in for some interviews that we can use for sure. I need to ship a microphone off to a person that we could interview. And I'm only shipping a microphone because I just, how much I hate terrible audio. I can't. I don't have a problem. Here's the thing. Mike edits a lot more audio than I do nowadays. Mm-hmm. But from way back when we first started recording shows together, I feel like I've always had the biggest issue with crappy audio. I'll give you an example. We're not going to name any names. We'll say, okay, this person recorded a thing. And Mike yep, that's not the best microphone they could have used. Yep. And I'm over here. That crap sucked, and I'm not even sure if we should publish it.
Yeah. Yep. You are very audio picky. I'll deal with more than I think you would for sure. When it comes to people's
absolutely.
Audio.
There's no doubt about that. Hands down, you will. And I noticed this, and here's the problem, right? Mike is the more, let's be clear. I'm going to be clear in my perspective. Mike is absolutely the more balanced, reasonable person in this situation. And it's not because he's accepting of, okay, this person didn't go spend $200 on a microphone or whatever the case is. I say that simply because I listen to shows that are, let's pick, what is this show? It used to be this week, Intelligent Machines on the Twit Network, right? We got a whole show that has advertisers and they bring on guests and they're clearly on their laptop microphones. And it's not even the best laptop microphones you could be on.
They're more worried about the video too, and that means that they're 20 feet away from their microphone, it sounds like in a lot of instances, where they could be closer to their microphone and it would sound better. says Michael as he gets closer to his microphone.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, they have advertising budget. Like, they have money. They could actually afford to do, what I would do, which is I'm going to ship you a mic and there's going to be a label in the box. When we're done, put this shit back in the mail and, thank you.
Ship it back to me.
We appreciate it. Yeah. What's the easiest, simplest way I can send a mic to somebody that all you have to do is plug it in and maybe change the input in your settings, which I could easily walk you through. And hey, we're live with decent audio. With better than your laptop or headset microphone audio, because you may not have great mic technique. I'm still working on mine to a certain extent. It's mostly because I kind of just forget and I move around. Also, it's hot in here, so, whatever. But my audio still sounds better than people who are getting paid for what they're doing. And I'm not annoyed by the fact that their audio sounds worse than mine and they're getting paid. I'm annoyed that their audio is just bad. Mike is probably annoyed that they're getting paid for bad audio. Yep. I'm just annoyed that their audio is bad.
Bad audio.
Like, I stop right there. That's the end of the conversation. That audio sucks. I don't want to hear it. There are whole episodes of shows that I have completely skipped that may have been really good because they had a person on that sounded like they were in their bathroom recording and I can't take it. My ears can't handle it.
Well, didn't you find something somewhere on a podcast or a YouTube that said that even on YouTube, people who can see what's being presented are less likely to listen if the audio is bad?
So I got that from Alex Lindsay, who is on Mac Break Weekly, about every week or whatever for the longest time. I think he actually founded Mac Break Weekly. But anyway, I heard that from him first. I've heard it elsewhere since then. But yeah, he was like, you can have bad video, but you can't have bad audio.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because people will tune out of a bad audio clip no matter how good your video is. But they'll stick around for some kind of shaky or grainy video if your audio is decent. And to me, it was like, hey, that's all the justification I need. This guy makes a living doing live streaming and video and audio. So, hey, I'm justified in how I feel. I don't care what anybody else has to say. I'm done.
This is what I'm sticking
with. This guy's feeding his family with this, right? Yep. So, now granted, there are exceptions to every rule. Sometimes the content is compelling enough that you just deal with it. This happens. Most times for me, it's like, they're only going to be here for like 15 to 20 minutes and then we'll get into the rest of the episode with the people using the decent microphones, even though everybody thinks the Heil PR40 sounds amazing. I'm like, you sound too bassy, young lady. You shouldn't really sound like that.
You must have been listening to Intelligent Machines recently.
That's about how that goes. But I have become less tyrannical about it, for a couple of reasons. Sometimes you're not going to get that interview if you don't put up with their crappy audio. There's also tools like Isotope that will help smooth some of that out and I first of all, it's my ears. Seriously. Like if I'm doing an interview with somebody and their mic is crap, like it disturbs me. But also think about like, what if I were listening to this? Did I really want to hear this? I don't want to hear this. But again, there are sometimes you're just not going to get that interview or that conversation to even happen if you are,
too picky about things.
There you go. That's a nice one. I was trying to figure out a way not to curse right there because you got enough stuff you've had enough stuff to bleep as it is. So yeah, I was trying to figure out a way not to curse. There you go. If you're not as picky, right? If you allow that, because that person may not be a professional, recorder at all, or they could also mistakenly think they sound great. But never mind. You want a good you want that interview, you want that conversation, you want that perspective to be presented to your listener. So therefore you cope with it and you adjust for it the best you can in post.
But you can help teach / guide people to producing better audio versus, so for example, taking a Windows laptop, I almost called out a manufacturer, but I wasn't going to, taking a Windows laptop's built-in microphone over your iPhone microphone. And yep, what he said, taking your iPhone's microphone or even a older Android device's microphone might sound better than your built-in laptop's microphone. And being able to be positioned to help people with saying, hey, if you use your iPhone and connect, you're going to sound better and than the current microphone you have now. And for our case, we're lucky because video is not important at all. I don't think that's the case for a lot of content producers. I hesitate to call them podcasters because podcasters originally was audio. There's my crotchety old man coming out.
I like it. But I'm going to just say that Twitch's been doing video almost since the beginning. So they still count audio. More so now than I think they used to. Like I've heard, if you ever listen to Twit Live, that is and I'm not saying you should go do it now. But just on a rare occasion, back in the days of like trying out all the iPhone apps, it's just so early, 2010, 2011, 2012, whatever. Like Twit had an app. So sometimes you just put on the Twit app. It's like, oh, Mac Break's coming up or whatever. You listen to it and somebody was having audio issues during the show and they cope with it. And there was not really anything, rude or, there was no conflict revealed during the show. And I will never forget, though, at the end of a Mac Break Weekly, that Leo got up and walked away, and he was still on a live mic because they were just streaming everything live at that time because they were still in that studio. Yeah. And this can't happen again. I don't know what's going on, but you're going to have to fix that because we're not going to keep doing shows like this. And I'm not going to even call out the host that was on Mac Break Weekly that was having audio issues, but that was pretty much, I was like, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
We put too much money in this studio. Like, thinking about it from his perspective, we put too much money in this studio for that kind of crap to happen. Like, whatever the hell is going on, fix it.
Fix it, and it better work right next time we need to use it.
Yep. Again, which also helped justify my whole, you can't have crappy audio argument. But Mike makes a good point. My solution is to figure out a way to help you help yourself. Help you help me, which is I will ship you a microphone. I'm going to tell you how to plug it in. And all you have to do is do these 3 things once you plug that microphone in, or 2 things or whatever it is. Yep. And we're live. And then when you're done, put it back in the box, take the label that was in the box, stick it on the outside of the box, ship it back. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. They don't have these problems. But you can't do that for everybody. Sometimes you have a chance to get an interview. And, legitimately, like I have what is this? H5 studio and an H6, H6,
E.
Yeah. Cause it's not a
Essential.
studio. Yeah. I was about to say H6 studio cause that's the thing, but it doesn't ship yet. Over here. And there are legitimately occasions where the best audio I can get is going to be right there in person with these XY mics. And that's all I got.
Yeah.
I am going to absolutely hate it. I'm going to tell people right now, like I will absolutely hate it. But sometimes you cannot allow, the whole point of this conversation is really sometimes you cannot allow you can't allow great to be the enemy of good. I really like high quality audio. If I'm going to do video, the reason we don't do video right now is because like I really would want the video to be spectacular, which means I would spend a ton of time. Even if Mike didn't, I would spend a ton of time with a sighted person that understands video quality, helping me fix it and make sure everything is optimized and great. And also, hey, we got to also test my my travel setup, which would be an iPhone, not that Insta 360 4K, whatever camera. Right. I want things to be done to the best of their ability, but very similar to this website that I'm working on right now. The primary goal is to get a website out. It has to do certain things. Like if it doesn't do these certain things, then it's not worth launching it. What I'm not launching with is private member fees. Gonna still run those through Pinecast for now. There's tons of other stuff that Mike may be like, oh, we should do this. Okay, that'll go on to the issues or the features list, right? But the minimum thing needs to be, I tell you to go to technicallyworking.show instead of redirecting you to The podcast website, it redirects you to a site that we control. That if we don't like the way the layout looks, we can fix it. We can change it. If it's not a download button, we can add one. If it doesn't have a subscribe link for Castro, we can drop that in there. Right? We can do all of these things. Same thing with podcasting or content creation or whatever you call it. Like you're doing a YouTube show. I don't care what you want to call what you do. But sometimes the conversation you're going to get is going to be the conversation you get. And it may not be to your normal standards. I know some conversations we're going to have coming up in the future are not going to be to my standards. I like having Steven on. Steven got all the gear. Steven sounds great.
JJ's pretty good too.
JJ's good when JJ shows up to be good.
Yes.
His episode that you guys did was good. So yeah, because
I've also heard him on bad audio too.
Exactly. All right. I've heard JJ on the Zoom recorder. XY is like, no, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But sometimes in order to bring you the content, because what this person has to say is going to be more important. And legitimately, I have sat through terrible, like legitimately terrible audio. It bothers me. I've called Mike sometimes. Yeah, I listen to this thing, and the first thing I say is, "Oh man, what they said was great," or "I really got this out of this," or "This was amazing." The first thing I say is, "What was that audio? Were they in their bathroom? What are they doing?" But yeah, they really did make a lot of good points about this thing right here, and I didn't know about that right there.
But the first comment was not related to the comment.
The hell is their audio, man? You recording in your bathroom? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Jeez, like put some time. What the? Jeez, man, it really drives me. Like,
he's very passionate about it.
Yeah, thank you. Because I was like, I don't really think people get it, but Mike has to put up with this crap.
Yes.
And it's probably not fun. He probably laughs when he get off the phone like, ha, 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 ha.
I do. But, I laugh. But, he'll deal with it. He likes the content. Or he won't deal with it, even though it is good content.
Yeah, there have been times I'm like, man, look, I couldn't finish listening to that because the audio was terrible.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is sometimes where you're working on anything, and whether it's audio, whether it's a website, whether it's a new product that you're building, whatever it could be. First off, always and forever strive to be great. But when you have to get something out the door, don't let great be the enemy of good. Because we can present you, and we will eventually present you with some okay audio, decent audio, okay audio. But the content will be great. So should I not release the episode because the content was great, but the audio was subpar?
No, I think you should.
Nah,
and
I think you should hear the content because the content is great, right? And what we strive to produce is great content. Speaking of great content, before Mike was going to say something, he's probably going to forget. But man, I got caught up listening to my own show the other day. It is the weirdest thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, you texted me.
So I'm listening to a podcast. I don't know what I was listening for at first, but for whatever reason, technically working got queued up as the next episode in Pocket Cast. And it starts off, and this is episode, I think it was 125, 120, I don't know. He's talking about Mike's mixer. And mind you, I had this conversation. As we started, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I told Mike to do. And I was like, oh yeah, but by the end of this, I said, well, let me know what happens because I'll send you my Soundcraft if you need it. I knew that, and I was stuck through the episode like I was in there. I was like, wow, this is really good content.
Yeah, that happens. And that's a good feeling to have too, because if you feel that about your own content, then you know other people. And consistently, we've got about 120 on average people who listen to it every week. So we appreciate it for sure.
That is decent, and we absolutely appreciate it. I feel like that is great because we don't do any marketing, like other than telling people I do a show. And most of these people most of the people that know I have a podcast right now that aren't regular listeners, probably don't really listen to podcasts. They go to YouTube. And we don't see the YouTube numbers. Like, that's the other thing too. Like, the numbers Mike is quoting do not incorporate YouTube.
No, they do not.
Which is why
the last time I looked at them, though, they weren't super high. It was like 5 or 6, but still, that's 5 or 6.
Yeah, well, more people look at you.
Damn it, son of a... Oh. All right. In the next couple of days, I am going to get another browser installed, and that will be my Cleanfeed browser.
Mike almost closed the window.
Yep, I almost went to ChatGPT in the Cleanfeed window. Fun times. So you upgrading Monday? Oh, go ahead.
What am I upgrading to?
I said, are you upgrading your Mac Monday? My guess is probably no. My answer is yes.
Absolutely.
You know me, I will.
Absolutely not. I do have a MacBook Air that's sitting under this MacBook Pro right now that is on the beta. So I will update that. But the MacBook Pro that I'm talking to you through right this month, oh no, sir. Maybe March. Talk to me in March.
Right. Nothing would cause you to update.
I won't say nothing because I did upgrade within the same calendar year that the OS was released for some feature. I think that was a couple of years ago. I don't remember what it was now. Mm-hmm. So I could upgrade before the end of the year, possibly, if there is a thing. That's a thing.
Like if VoiceOver stops getting stuck in the top admin bar in WordPress dashboards.
Well, any voiceover improvements are always enticements to the computer, but then you have to wait for them to do the next upgrade to make sure they didn't break the damn thing.
Yeah.
So, what was it that made me upgrade? It was some feature that wouldn't work across devices, and I wanted that feature.
It was something like that. Was it?
No, it wasn't that. I don't really care about that. I used that. It wasn't continuity camera either, because I've actually never used continuity camera. I still use camo.
Continuity just gets in the way when it freshens.
I don't remember what it was.
Well,
but it's possible I could upgrade before the end of 2025. That is a possibility. Will I upgrade Monday? No. Will I upgrade in September? No. Will I upgrade before November? Most likely not.
Right.
But that's just me. You folks do your thing. Now my phone and all the rest of that stuff, sure. Because at the end of the day, I am this type of person. I am a Mac first, everything else is second. I don't care what phone I use because I can figure it out. I don't care about a tablet because I don't have to have one. But computer, Mac, and my Mac has to be stable or at least working in a consistently known, understandable state. So yeah, there are issues with what I'm doing right now. But I know what is going to work and what ain't going to work.
And how to fix what doesn't work. Well, how to get through what doesn't work.
Like, for example, here's a problem I've not been able to solve. So I press VOM, right? That brings up, what's the first thing you hear? You hear
menu.
Apple, right?
Oh, yep.
Now, I am in Chrome, so I should be able to press Fi for file to go to the file menu, right? Is there a file menu?
Yes.
Yep, there is. Okay. Just making sure. Oh, it's not right. Well, guess what happens? Even though I have not opened this menu and dropped it down, any key I press is going to look for stuff in the menu under Apple.
Yep.
Has been driving me absolutely insane because it breaks the way that I use my computer. It has broken so much muscle memory.
Mm-hmm. See, and I thought it was just something I did, but no, it's not.
Okay.
M does it, and Control F2, which is the system-wide keystroke to open the menu.
I thought it was something I did, so that's why I never actually brought it up. Because I'm like, what the hell did I do with my computer? I don't have time to figure it out.
Nope. Yep. And I've noticed every time I go up to a menu,
I know the tyranny of Apple. They make you feel like you're the one involved when stuff doesn't work. What do they say when your antenna doesn't connect right? You're holding it wrong.
You're holding it wrong. You're using VoiceOver wrong.
You know what? Screw you, Apple. I'm done. It's all over. Still using my
I don't even think
I'm going to Android.
You could come to Windows. And see, if you press escape, it doesn't close the menu itself. It closes the whole menu bar.
So Michael said a thing, and then he tried to keep moving. But I'm not going to let that thing that he just said just go by. So I have one question for you,
yes.
Michael.
Yes.
How would you do a backup recording if you were on Windows right now?
Right now on my end, I would open Reaper and it would capture my end and I would lose your recording. So, as I command tab into Audio Hijack to make sure it's still running.
I'm telling you, man, listen, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If Apple were to ever do, and I've said this before on the show, if Apple were ever to do anything to shut down Rogue Amoeba's tools, like if they hadn't worked this thing out where like, you know, the Ace plugin gets installed and all that stuff works, and there was no more Audio Hijack or no more no more loopback, like, man, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm done. I would go to a Windows desktop computer and an iPad and a phone, because I still have drafts on the pad and the phone. I could, you know, add stuff to drafts from the browser and Windows, and I just have to cope with it. Apple really, I've said this before and we've gotten off into a whole nother conversation, but I really honestly believe this, right? Yes, Apple makes great hardware. They make nice software. We should talk about the Apple event before we wrap up. But here's the thing though. Here's what keeps me stuck to Apple. Now, on the computer side of things with the Mac, is I can run any operating system within or on top of, depending on the computer. Right now with Apple Silicon, it's easier to run it inside of in a virtual machine. It's not just possible everywhere else. And also it's a Unix-based system, so I spend a ton of time at terminal because I like terminal because I'm old. Leave me alone and get off my lawn. But really, it is the third-party developers. There's not one single tool that I could honestly point out to you right now. And I'm being serious. There's not a thing I can think about that Apple has. And anybody feel free, Mike, tell me if you can point out a thing that I've not thought about at this particular moment, or reach out to us, feedback at Technically Working Out Show. We'll give you the Mastodon stuff at the end. There's not an Apple app that makes me stick to their platform. The reason I am missing my iPhone and like I got to figure out what I'm going to do about, but I really like using this Pixel, but there's no Fantastic app. There's not drafts. You know, there's not,
I mean, really those two apps.
Yeah, like those two right there are kind of enough for me, honestly. Like there's a couple other things I'm not thinking of right now.
Card Hop.
Yeah, there's Card Hop. Right?
I don't use that app that much, but
I kind of sort of use it. I use it more to manage my contacts nowadays than I do to actually add stuff, because sometimes that's hit or miss. But
do you have
Apple?
Good.
I was going to say, there's not an Apple app. It's not like, oh, I can't leave Apple's platform because I use reminders, or I really love Siri, or
what about iMessages?
Shortcuts is so amazing, or like whatever, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like it really comes down to third-party developers, and I really think they have to tread very carefully, not to, first off, overly offend these developers, because some of these people have enough money they can walk away and do something else. Secondly, if you don't handle those people right, and then they can't produce the tools that I use, then hey, you lose customers, right? That's the thing. You were going to ask, do you not have to? What was your question?
I was going to ask, you're not married to iMessages because you can switch to RCS just fine. Is there anything in iMessages that you would potentially miss? Because for me, there is not anymore.
No, there's not anything, because you know what? Most people have Cash App if I need to get money, and that's the only thing that iMessage offers me that isn't available anywhere else, is being able to send Apple Cash. But more people have Cash App, and I now have a Venmo account because I had to set up a business Venmo account, and unfortunately, to get a business Venmo account, you have to set up a personal Venmo account. So I'm on Venmo too. So yeah, screw a bunch of Apple Cash. The only thing, if I completely abandon Apple's platforms at all, that would be somewhat problematic for me, is I have an Apple Card, and I can't put that in my wallet on my Pixel.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
Like you can't actually add the card to wallet to check out with?
Nope. I tried.
Oh.
It ain't happening.
Which also means you can't check your bill or pay it as well from your Android device.
Right. But you know, I don't care that much about the Apple Card. It has the lowest balance not the lowest balance. That's not the word. Limit. It's the lowest limit of any credit card I currently use. Secondarily, the only time I actually use it and what it's actually set up for and used for primarily is my subscriptions within Apple, because I get the maximum amount of cash back on that. And when I'm buying certain things to use Apple Pay, I will use that card because, I'm doing a Uber Eats or DoorDash or something like that, right? And I get 2% back on those. Otherwise, I really don't care about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to tie me to their platform for sure. I could easily close that card or pay that card off, let it pay for my Apple Music subscription that I still need to keep because, hey, Apple Music's on Android, so screw you. Go apply for, I don't know, the Chase Sapphire card. I kind of want that card now. I probably wouldn't get it, but I kind of want that card. I've been hearing too many commercials about Chase Sapphire. I kind of want this card. I kind of want this card, man. I hadn't applied for it at all because I don't think I'll get it, but I kind of want it. But yeah, that's the thing. It's again, this MacBook is great. I dropped my MacBook. Actually, it fell out the back of my mom's, the backseat of my mom's truck, last week. And there's a really ugly scuff on this MacBook Pro, and now I hate it. Apple makes great stuff. Great hardware, great software, yada, yada. They did a whole force field thing last week, and the iPhone Air, sounds kind of cool. I don't think I want to go buy it.
But I want to feel it.
I want to watch. I do want to go check it out. That I will do.
Yeah.
I'm really torn about the Apple Watch though, because I haven't actually worn my watch in a while, but I'm also on a Series 6, and with voiceover on a Series 6, it is horrible. Rough. Yeah, it's kind of unusable.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't wear the watch because it's unusable, or if I don't wear the watch because it still can, gather the metrics it gathers without my interacting with anything. Or is it because I kind of don't care as much about it anymore? I don't know.
It's funny because a couple of years ago on DM series, I think you had mentioned you would wear the watch because it captures those metrics and you don't have to worry about it, even if you didn't use the watch for anything or something to those words. So I wonder if you're right. It might not matter as much as maybe it did, or have the perception of mattering as much as maybe it did a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So the sad fact is I'm probably going to buy a fucking watch.
Ultra 3 or 11?
That's what I got to go look at. I got to go see them.
Okay.
It comes down to, does the battery life or does the visual appeal, the sleekness of the 11 override the battery life of the Ultra 3? Because I'm all about the style, man. Look at that. That 11 looks really thin and sleek, and I get a nice middle band with the titanium, and it's I think I'm good, man.
And you just saved, some money. Then
not really, because the titanium is going to cost about the same as the Ultra, so not a whole lot of savings right there. Then I'm getting the metal band from somewhere, so
you're paying a little more, maybe. Yeah,
it's just fashion. Well, I feel like this though. If I'm going to buy a watch, because I don't tend to want to upgrade my watch every year or every 2 years or whatever, really it's got to become to a point, I don't know, I have to upgrade it because it ain't getting the software updates anymore. I may as well buy a really nice, durable one, with the non-aluminum version. I've always bought those. I've never bought the higher end, like the stainless steel or the titanium version of the watch. I always go for the cellular version because if I need it, I can add it. If I don't want it, then I don't have to use it, but I can't add it after the fact.
Right. That makes sense.
I have the same feeling about iPads.
Yeah.
Buy the cell version if you can, because if you need it or decide it's a necessary function, you can always turn the service on. But if you don't have that antenna included when you take it out of the box, you can't add it later.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I may or may not upgrade to the watch because, even with the health data, I guess maybe because I've been carrying the Pixel around all summer. I really hadn't thought about, because I'm not getting no kind of, health stuff there. And, we all know Pixel Watch is crap. So, I'm not buying one of those. And I'm still looking for a person to come on here and tell me how to be productive as a business owner with a Pixel phone. I'm bringing JJ back.
There you go. That'll be the opening question.
That is the opening question. We're going to start it off very controversial, right? So listen, how do you get work done on your Android phone? Explain this to me. Because Gmail does this thing, that does this thing. And, sometimes I just have to completely restart, TalkBack because, it won't even let me swipe or I can't explore my touch. And, Now Braille screen input on Android, I've been using the crap out of that. So,
So I've been using Android on the Samsung, and one of my complaints of that is, and I don't know if you have to do this with the Pixel, and I get why they do it, but in order to turn it off or to restart it, you have to enter your PIN.
Nope, don't have that.
Yeah. So
that's some weird Samsung stuff.
It is. But I get why they don't want you to just turn the phone off, because if you turn the phone off, then you can put it into bootloader mode and then reset everything. But it's still locked to the account that it's tied to. Like, I had to do that. And yes, it lets you into the phone, but it also makes you enter your credentials for the Samsung account or an account Google that was previously added to the phone.
Yeah, which is kind of what happens with the iPhone. Because it's like you can do the same thing with the iPhone. You can shut it down, and then you can plug it into a computer, and then you can go through the whole, DFU mode.
Yep.
Sometimes when I'm inebriated and I hear the term DFU in an Apple phone, and I'm like, oh, so that's how it is, huh? Damashe, F-U. Okay, I got you. All right.
Wow. It's all about Damashe.
But you still have to authenticate with the account that was on that phone before it's really going to be usable for you, right? So the whole enter my PIN before you shut it down
really doesn't make sense.
A little unnecessary because, so here's my problem, right? I can understand. I see how you view that as I understand why they did that. Here's the problem. I'm coming across the border and I don't want you to be able to use my Face ID, Touch ID, whatever to unlock my phone. You can't force me to give you information from my brain. You are slowing down the process of me getting my phone back to a point where I can be like, oh, nope, don't have to give that password, buddy. I don't care. Oh, you want to cuff me? Here you go. Let's go right now. Yeah. We're out of here. Wherever you're taking me, we're going there now because I'm not letting you on my phone. Screw you.
But I think if you start or initiate that shutdown process and get to that PIN screen, I don't have biometrics set up on this phone, but I think if you get to that screen, then you have to enter your PIN to get back into the phone anyways.
Regardless of what you did. Yeah.
But
that
still
could be the case. And I thought about that as I was saying all of that.
Let me turn off my phone so I can get TalkBack back on.
Right? Like I really need to just force shut this down right now because ain't nothing working.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to get his border agent my password so I can reset my phone so I can get it back up and running so I can actually hear what I don't want them to hear. Like, I can hear what I don't want them to see. Like, no.
And Hey Gemini will not restart your phone. Last time I tried.
You know how long it took before Siri would do that?
Yeah.
I wonder if Siri does it now.
It does.
Hey, Siri, restart my phone. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. That was very mean. It probably didn't work anyway, but I really shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody listening.
Especially subscriber number 1. Enough not to listen to itself being invoked from the speaker. I hope.
We're talking about Siri. Okay. As I said, I apologize, especially to subscriber number 1, because I feel like you're yelling at me right now because I did it to you. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, man. Any more thoughts on the Apple event?
I'm intrigued by the AirPod Pro 3s. Don't know that I'm going to go buy them. The Samsung, the 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max interest me. I honestly think what's going to happen is I'm going to upgrade my line, trade in my iPhone 14 Pro Max. I'll end up with the 17 Pro Max. Mallory will see it and decide that she wants that. So then I will end up activating her 16 Pro Max on my line and she'll have the 17 Pro Max. But I'm okay with that because it gets me off Lightning. And I'm frankly not sure what on the 17 Pro Max would benefit me over what's on the 16 Pro Max.
You'll have 8 cameras to scan your OCR.
And I'll have 12 gigs of RAM versus 8
I think you got something like, yeah, I need to review those numbers because I feel like people are kind of misquoting that a little bit because I felt like the 16 Pros had a little bit more RAM than that too.
Maybe.
But I just want to highlight right here, like Mike is such a great guy. He's going to upgrade his phone to the phone that he knows his wife actually wants. Because I think if Mike had his choice, he would probably pick the 17 Pro, not the Pro Max.
I'm pretty happy with the Pro Max.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. But
okay, so he's not a nice guy. He's selfish as hell.
No. I am looking at the orange one because she mentioned she wanted the orange one and not the blue one. So
you should get the blue one just to be like, bye,
we'll see which one can ship faster.
No, I thought I honestly, legitimately thought you were more of a Pro size user, like preferably over the Pro Max. Like I preferably would like the Pro size myself, but the Braille screen input is actually more comfortable on the iPhone than it is on the Pixel.
So I like the Pro Max. I think if the Pro Max and the Pro had the exact same battery and the Pro, I don't know what it is about using the Pro with BSI. I think it's because the Pro Max is slightly taller, isn't it?
So when you're holding it in your hand in landscape mode, like screen away mode, you got more space because it's longer from left to right because it is a taller phone and it is a tad bit wider as well. Like I've gotten comfortable with using the Pixel 9 Pro, which I think is closest to the Pro size iPhone screen, but it is so much more comfortable on the Pro Max. And I'm glad I have the 15 Pro Max to do Braille screen input on because it's just more comfortable. I can do it on the Pro. I think I could do the thing. I think I could do the thing that I feel like a lot of people I have encountered using Braille screen input do with the Pro Max that I can't do with the Pixel 9 Pro size screen, which will be closely equivalent to the, iPhone Pro screen size, which is the Pro. I have to kind of hold that, like the Pixel, I have to kind of hold it against my body. Mm-hmm. Whereas with the iPhone, I can actually just hold it physically, kind of the way you're supposed to hold a Hable or something. Like I can hold that away from my body and use it comfortably. The Pixel, either I end up making a lot of mistakes or I'm terrified I'm going to drop it. So I have to put it up against my chest and then type on it. Like it's almost like it's in tabletop mode, except I'm still using screen away mode. And I don't have to do that with the Pro Max, with the 15 Pro Max.
So yeah. That's where
the Air is interesting. The Air is interesting for sure. I definitely want to go see it. I don't want to buy it. I would take one, but I don't want to go buy it. Also, I'm going to go on a journey. So I'll follow up about this once I do it. Listen, give it a couple of months. Well, not a couple of months. Give it to like October. Cause first the iPhones have to actually come out and two, I got to have time to get around and go look at them. And I'm not going out the first weekend they're out cause that's madness. I'm not buying one. So I'm not going to, subject myself to that. But I have not actually seen a folding phone. So I want to go look at the Samsung Foldable and the Samsung Flip. And then I want to look at the Air, the iPhone Air, because I have a picture in my mind of how Apple could turn what I understand the Air to look like into a folding phone. But it may not be what folding phones actually look like in the real world. So it may not make sense. Because in my mind, it was just end up being one long ass phone. So that's probably not what they're doing. So yeah, I'm going to go take a look because I am very interested. And this is what this year's event did for me. It really made me excited to see the foldable from Apple when that happens. Because I'm more of a mind now that what we're going to get It's not going to be everything I want it to be because you're not going to be able to run Mac OS on it and have audio hijack and do all of it. So whatever. I'm not going to get that. But I will have a phone that is a phone and it's cool. And then when I need a tablet, say an iPad mini. So, and I'm going to sum it up this way because I think this show is getting pretty long. We're way past our 56-minute budget, man.
They said they wanted.
I am of the mindset, at least right now, this could change once I actually see folding phones that exist in the world for real. I am of the mind that the Apple foldable phone, whatever they call it, could actually be the death of the iPad mini.
We'll leave it at that. I could see, I've never been personally fond of the iPad mini. I've never used it. I don't know anyone in person that uses it. Like I know you use one, but I
have one. I mean, do I use it?
I could see how that could be though. Because we'll see how Apple comes out with their foldable supposedly next year, but I feel like we've heard next year for a little while.
Yeah, I'm still thinking this might be 27 before we actually see this thing. Like, I would not be surprised to see that not happen until 27. But here we are with our lineup for Apple stuff. We have the iPhone. We have the iPhone Air. We have the iPhone Pro. We have the iPad. We have the iPad Air. We have the iPad Pro.
Yeah.
I am more inclined to believe this rumor of them putting a iPhone chip into a Mac laptop because the 19 Pro chip that they have in the Pro phones and in the Air would slide in pretty nicely and they could bring back the name that everybody loves because, hey, it really was a great name. Just MacBook. Now, because MacBook I would Air like to see that.
MacBook Pro.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that's weird is this desktop platform, right? But that's always been weird. So, screw that. We're not talking about the desktops. We're talking about their most popular stuff that they sell. We got iPad, iPhone. We got iPad, iPad Air, iPad Pro. We got MacBook, MacBook Air, MacBook Pro. We got iPhone, iPhone Air, iPhone Pro. The only device in that particular lineup right there that is left out kind of dangling in a weird spot is the iPad mini.
Yeah.
But if the iPad foldable, whatever they call that, comes along, whatever they call, because you know what? They may not even actually call it iPhone anything. It could be an entirely different name.
Yeah.
But what if that kills off the iPad mini? Not because they don't want that product to exist, but because when it's in phone mode folded, it's a decent screen size phone. When you unfold it, it is very close to what the current iPad mini size is. And Apple says to you, because they're good at telling people what they should buy, well, hey, the iPad mini is no longer a product in our lineup. If you really want a mini tablet, then you buy the iPhone Fold or buy the Apple Fold or buy the Core Fold or whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah, I like the Apple
Fold. Buy the folding Apple. Get out of here. In orange. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up, but one of the most funniest statements, like sentences that somebody put together over the past week that I heard is, that's like, oh crap, I can't even remember how they said it. They were talking about the orange iPhone. And it was like, it's like apples and the orange iPhone or something. It's like apples and orange iPhone or the Apple orange iPhone or something they said. And I was like, it's kind of like, it makes you think apple and oranges.
Apples and oranges.
Like it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly how to say it. Anyway.
Yeah, I like it.
Thanks everybody for listening. We appreciate it. Shout out to our Tip Jar subscribers. Hey, Tip Jar subscriber number 1. Still don't know who you are. But anyway, thank you for being a subscriber. Thanks to everybody else that is also a subscriber that I won't name because we don't have their permission to give you their names. But I do know who some of them are. And I appreciate you. It's hilarious. It's not hilarious. It's very ironic to me that a couple of people at least are people I listened to 10 or 15 years ago tell me about tech and they're subscribing to my show. I think that is amazing. So shout out to all of you folks. Thanks to everybody who listens. Again, you can always help us by doing a couple of simple things. You don't have to be a tip jar subscriber. We appreciate it when you are. But listen, man, I've seen the cost of stuff lately. I ain't even looked at ads lately because I just refuse. I will become a chicken rustler. That's what my next gig is going to be. But listen, share the show. Tell somebody else you know about the show. Go to YouTube and drop a link to YouTube. It's okay if they listen on YouTube. We'll eventually figure out how to incorporate those numbers. You know why? Because the advertising industry is going to dictate that podcasters have to figure that out. And when they do, then we'll be right there. So it's okay if you're on YouTube. It's okay if you listen on Spotify. We don't get Spotify numbers directly either. So that's a whole nother thing we got to figure out. We will figure this stuff out as we go. But listen to us in the best way, and whatever is the best way for you to listen. And that is the most important thing you can do. You could go leave us a review, however, if you have time, in the Apple Podcast app, if you use that. You could do it in Pocket Cast. I think Spotify has this, or you could just, follow our channel on YouTube and do all those things and smash the buttons and ring the bells and
leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Kill the pigeon. I don't know. Whatever the YouTube people do, do that.
Become a tip jar subscriber so you can get early access to the site.
Yeah, then you don't have to do any of that stuff I just randomly said.
Or let us know if you want us to text you.
You can do on YouTube. Email us feedback@technicallyworking.show. We are on Mastodon. That is the best social media platform to communicate with any of us. So for him, he's Michael Babcock, but his Mastodon handle is Payon, PAYOWN @dragonscave.space. Space, because Mike still won't put that into the show. I am.
You would never know if I did put it into the show.
Well, see, now you don't know, because I realize how great my content
listening,
is. I actually have to listen to it. It's like my content is actually really good. Like, this is amazing content. Why was I not listening to this show last week? Yeah, this is how everybody should feel. I'm Damashe, DAMASHE @technically.social, because I really am that. The bot that you really ought to follow is TW @technically.social. Now, if that bot does nothing else, it's going to post a link when the show goes live. It will probably do other stuff in the future.
Maybe.
It sometimes does random things now. When I remember to go post to it, it would probably do more if Mike remembered to go, nudge the bot, but he doesn't. It's okay.
Is the bot's going to automate one password?
That's a very good question, Mike, and I don't know, but it will be there the next time you ask me that question.
Okay. I don't know either. I have not even looked, but
like legitimately. So it is legitimately in one password.
Right,
is it in our shared vault? That I don't know for certain. But it will be the next time you ask that question. And of course, you can use the hashtag #technicallyworking, and we appreciate it, though it's not required. Please capitalize the T and the W. It just makes things read well. Thanks everybody for listening. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week. This has been episode 128.
Yes, I think. See, guys, this is how we usually wrap them up every time. It's like what I think that's the number, and then Michael goes and pulls up Pinecast, unless Damashe has it already, and he looks at the episode numbers, and it says that the last episode published was 127. So yes, 128.
Aha, see, I was right. So I don't have to say it again.